tell me, how do you sort of, both of you see it? Because I feel like you've sort of come to the space where the instant feedback situation wasn't there before, but now you can sort of get it right away. And you sort of have grown with it, right? Sort of like it's come in the way of your career and stuff like that. How do you sort of deal with both of that? Because obviously there's a lot of love, there's also hate as well. How do you deal with both?
With the same kind of affection as I did before.
Yeah.
Love and hate are things that go hand in hand.
Yeah.
You will always have people who will either be jealous or would be frustrated with their own lives and so on and so forth. And they exist. They always did. Today they just have a platform where they are able to express it.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Otherwise, it's the same music, is the same artistry, is the same 7 notes, and there's no difference in that. It's just that the platforms have changed. Whether it was vinyl, from vinyl it came to cassettes, and then from cassettes it came to CDs now. However, with the formats changing, there still is the same music, and styles and arrangements change, but the one thing that remains constant is melody.
Yeah.
So that will always remain a constant, and the way you present it.
Yeah.
But I think that if your melody is strong and your presentation is correct, it'll work no matter what the format is.
Yeah, of course. No, my question was also, do you sort of get into the comment section? Do you read stuff on YouTube? Do you read stuff on Instagram?
Yes, of course.
Yeah?
I mean, I may not read all of it.
Yeah.
But yes, there are times, you definitely want to stay in touch with what the feedback is from people, just to get a sense of how people are responding, and what are the things that give them that kick.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, I do. But I mean, maybe I might not get into it too much, because you need to also keep a sense of perspective that there's some people out there who just want to criticize, sometimes just to get noticed.
Yeah.
And sometimes
absolutely.
and sometimes it's more like, and it's also sometimes why him, and so there are all those other elements. You need to be able to analyze that. All right, was this guy hugged enough when he was a child? Or maybe he's got other issues, or maybe he's got mom issues or whatever. So you need to be able to, need to sort of filter all that out, and then see which is the constructive criticism, and then take it forward from there.
Yeah. Ada, does it affect you? Because I feel like, see, I'm a very self-deprecatory person in general, so I take most of the jokes or like the trolls that come on my social media, but sometimes, once in a while, that one person or one comment will hit you, and then, like, I admit it once in a while, but does that happen to you as well? Because you put out a lot of you outside.
I do, and once you put out stuff like that, like I wore a newspaper gown to one of the red carpets. So I mean, I knew I'll get both the brickbats and the, I knew that, but I think I get so much of the love from people, and there's so much support from people I don't even know, who are like so nice to me and who say such amazing things about me. So I feel like that kind of dilutes the bad stuff. Of course, I read a lot of the stuff. It's impossible to read everything, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But I love reading comments, and then I do voiceovers also for people who I think are frustrated and annoyed. So I do that also, and I read them out aloud and stuff. But no, I know you're going to get both always. But I get a lot of the love. So even if there's like one bad comment or something which says like bad word in Hindi for female prostitute. Okay, over there, I have a picture. There will be, I don't know, are we allowed to? You're not allowed.
It's fine. It's fine.
No, the reference was pretty okay.
Okay.
We arrived.
It's hard to miss it.
So then under that, there will be like 200 comments just to that person saying, how dare you say this to Ada.
Correct.
And those people don't even know me. So I feel like it's really nice that people are very nice to me. So I look at that side.
The other thing is that in social media, people are also a bit too presumptuous. And they think that just because they've seen a few photographs of yours, or maybe just seen a status that you've put up, or heard a few songs or seen a film or whatever, they think that they know you to the point of being able to judge your character.
Yeah, they're very quick to judge.
And draw a conclusion towards it, which is ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, how are you going to be judged, by a particular one statement that you make?
Yeah.
What do they know about your background, and how presumptuous of them to think that they can?
Yeah.
Your very dear friends, or friends rather,
Yeah.
don't know you entirely. So how does this person, who doesn't know you from Adams, have the audacity to think that he can know you?
Yeah.
Having said that, if you have taken a conscious decision to be part of this profession, you have to have a thick skin.
Absolutely.
You just have to. And I remember one of the first reviews that I got, in which I had played, we were just talking about this a while ago, Indian classical music on the piano.
Yeah.
And this person, who was a very orthodox, conservative music critic, he wrote a Sunday feature, half page, front page, in which he literally he crucified me, that I had almost like committed blasphemy by doing this, and I was very upset. And I went, I literally, I expressed my sadness to my father, and my father said, "What are you getting upset about?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Because he said this," and he said, "Let me tell you something." He devoted half a page to demolish you, which means that you had an impact.
Absolutely.
You had an impact which provoked him to write and devote so much of space and time in demolishing you, because you had an impact.
Yeah.
You should have been worried if your effort went completely ignored. So therefore,
Fair enough,
of course, after a year or so, that same critic came back and spoke with a tremendous amount of roses.
Yeah.
But the point is that you need to be able to take it on the chin.
Yeah.
And that is sometimes not easy. I mean, we're human after all.
Yeah, I think in a warped parallel world, that's exactly what happens on social media as well, right? Because at the end of the day, they're putting 5 minutes into deciding a comment and then writing it and then going to your profile and typing it down and then sort of waiting to see if there's a reply to it and stuff like that.
And then, like he said, it's those people who might say terrible things now will come back and later they've forgotten that they've ever said that, and they think you're the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
Oh no, have you had this thing where like, so I refuse to reply to like DM requests which are like shady and like big lines of like Hindi galis, but like once in a while when I lose my shit, I'm like, I will reply to you, but then they'll reply and be like, no, but I love you.
Yeah.
Like this was for your attention.
Like that. Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah, and I've also had, exactly in the light of what you just said, I've actually had situations where someone has gone completely ballistic, and literally gone on a blitzkrieg on me.
Yeah.
And I just, as an experiment, a couple of times, I just decided to respond to them with love, and they became my soldiers after that. It was like, make room and don't you dare. I mean, they became, and that's when I suddenly realized that, there's an issue here.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is attention seeking.
Yeah.
And, they want to somehow stand out from the crowd.
Yeah.
And, it's a bizarre bondage form of love.
Well done. Nice use of words.